Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and welcome to our 2017 NFL season preview for the New York Giants. Now here's a look at what we have on tap for this preview. We will take a look at both sides of the ball in our offensive and defensive overview. We will also give you a reason for optimism as well as a cause for concern. And we will give you a breakout candidate who is an underrated player that'll end up playing a huge role this season. But first, let's take a look at some of the big storylines heading into the season as we get things kicked off in our 4-minute offense. The Giants added a key veteran to the squad in the offseason in wide receiver Brandon Marshall. The 12-year veteran spent the last 2 seasons with the New York Jets and still has a lot of game left, in my opinion. Bringing in a guy like Marshall will definitely alleviate some of the pressure off of Odell Beckham Jr. and Sterling Shepard, and we'll see how much of an impact his presence will have on this passing game in 2017. The Giants defense took a major step forward last season and was a bit of a surprise to many outside observers. We saw Big Blue get back to their stingy ways on that side of the ball. The 2016 defense finished 10th in total defense, 2nd in points allowed, 3rd in rush defense, and 4th in interceptions. The hope is that this year's team can get those sack numbers back up to what we saw during those Super Bowl seasons, and as they finished with 35 sacks last year, which had them tied for 14th in the NFL. Gone is Rashard Jennings, and now last year's 5th-round pick Paul Perkins is the incumbent starter in the backfield, and Perkins has the wiggle to consistently make the first guy miss and to find the smallest of crevices along the line of scrimmage. Everyone will be watching to see if the 5'10", 208-pound tailback can bring the same level of productivity to the backfield that he did his last season at UCLA when he ran for over 1,300 yards. The positive is that Perkins played well toward the end of last season and into the playoffs, which should make the transition a lot easier. All eyes will be on the Giants' offensive line this upcoming season. Last year, the front 5 took a lot of heat from analysts and fans alike, and to their credit, they started to play better toward the end of the season as guys came back healthy to the lineup. This offseason, the Giants added pieces like former 1st-round pick DJ Fluker and drafted guys like Adam Bisnowaty out of Pitt. We'll see if the continuity is king for Big Blue as they continue to develop a healthy rotation up front. Right now, everyone's record is at 0-0, and every fan is excited about the 2017 season, and every coach feels as though that this year's team has the right mix of everything to push them over the top. Well, here's why you should be optimistic about the 2017 season. The biggest reason for optimism for the Giants starts on the offensive side of the ball. On paper, they have the best receiving core of the NFC East. Odell Beckham Jr. is a legit game breaker, along with the savvy Sterling Shepard and veteran Brandon Marshall. You can't help but get excited. You also add one of the best rookie tight ends in the draft in Evan Ingram, and Eli Manning should have his best season throwing the football. Defensively, the way the defense played last season should only get better as they return healthy and added some key pieces as well, like rookie defensive tackle Delvin Tomlinson and free agent signee Devin Taylor. The Giants secondary was also an area of strength last year as they get back Darian Thompson, who battled injuries all last season. The cause for concern, in my opinion, would be along the offensive line. If this group, which played better towards season's end, has a relapse to their inconsistent start of the season, then it could derail any offensive optimism one may have entering the 2017 season. Every year there's a player on the team that enters the season on the bubble. Maybe he's buried on the depth chart or he's an afterthought, but they end up playing a big role on the team by the season's end. So without further ado, here's my pick for the offensive and defensive breakout candidate. I'm going to go with a rookie breakout candidate on offense and rookie tight end Evan Ingram. He's the quintessential move piece on an offense that's vastly underrated as a blocker. Because of Ingram's route running, he will find himself open more often than not, and he has the hands and speed to make something happen each and every time he's targeted. Defensively, I look at Darian Thompson being a breakout candidate. Last year, we saw Landon Collins have a Pro Bowl season, and a lot of that was due to the fact that he was able to be a versatile player. Thompson, returning to the lineup, has that same level of capability. He can match up versus tight ends and bigger wide receivers, and also has the ability to be a classic center fielder as a free safety. Having him back there makes the secondary much more versatile and flexible as a whole. All right, it's prediction time. So here's how I think the 2017 season will play out. The road to the Super Bowl for the Giants goes as follows. Number 1, Perkins has to pay off big time on this offense. And again, if the Giants can find a way to run the football with some level of consistency, it's going to open up everything else on the outside. They have the talent in place to make things happen vertically down the field, but if they can get the production out of the running game, this offense could be tough to stop. And that all is predicated on whether or not the offensive line becomes a strength and not a liability. That's going to be the biggest question that they'll have to answer this upcoming season. And the special teams, which was outstanding last year, has to remain special. The Giants won 2 to 3 games last year because of their special teams. The Saints game comes to mind with a blocked field goal attempt with Janoris Jenkins bringing it back for a touchdown. If that special teams can remain special in all 3 facets, this team can find themselves in Minnesota come February. I have the Giants finishing 2nd in the NFC East. This team is talented on paper. They put together the production on the field last season, and this year a lot of the same pieces return. I think the offensive line will be slightly better than what we saw last year. Eli Manning has a lot of options to get the football to. I think the running game will get better as the season progresses, but right now I still have this team finishing slightly behind the Dallas Cowboys for 1st in the NFC East. But this is another squad that I believe will represent the NFC in the playoffs. So that's a wrap for this video. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media accounts as you see listed. And if you want to check out our NFL season previews, as you already should, visit our website at footballgameplan.com/2017 NFL previews. And then finally, don't forget to subscribe on iTunes to Football Game Plan Podcast, where you can find all of our NFL shows. Like the Football Cypher, where we'll go more in depth with the Giants 2017 season, and you can check that podcast and our other podcasts on our website at footballgameplan.com/podcast. Like I said before, you can subscribe on iTunes and also visit our SoundCloud page at soundcloud.com/FBGP podcast.